church. You do it in the streets. You do it at home. The rest is bullshit, and you know it.
I know you know where they are, so tell me, before I do some damage, you won't walk away.
You shit-kicking, stinky horse-smelling motherfucker, you.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is legit paranormal vacation planners. It's a lot of P's in everything we do. It is June 21st, 2022, which is 0621-2022 for the math geeks. I believe it's also the beginning of summer, something along those lines. Joining me, though, Buddy Thayer. Buddy Money Thayer. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, Mike. It's good to finally see your face bright and shining. You look much better than you did the other night.
Thank you. Still groggy, but I'm all right.
Yeah, you look much more perky. I mean, you don't have the yellow sunglasses on, but you know it's good.
So, buddy, you know what? Never mind to you. That's what I'm going to say to you, buddy. Never mind.
All right.
Joining us is Elise G. We'll say G. Elise. I want to say it one time, and then it'll be the last time I say it. But it is Elise Giammarco Carlson.
Yes.
All right. So from now on, though, it's Elise G.
I'm the G.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So that's how we're going to work it. All right. See, what people don't know, and this is what's funny, is that we've been running or try to run a vacation planning thing. Like my idea was, you don't want to get a vacation on the internet. That's too easy. It's boring. Where's that? You know what I mean? This thing. You know what I'm saying, buddy? You know what I'm saying.
So, right, that the dark side of your vacation, if you will.
Exactly. So
the things that you don't see on TripAdvisor.
So at least if you want to go to some place that like paranormal or that has had, some sort of wacky adventures, you'd come to us, right?
Definitely. What am I going to do? Call, Collect Travel or just one of those normal places? No, I'd call you guys. Of course.
So now let's start off with if you wanted to vacation in Rhode Island. And now, just so I can preface this, I'm going to make sure everybody knows this. I want to be up front. I don't want to hide things. We do get commission for these trips that are booked. So, we do. Just want to say that a heads up. So now, if you were going to stay in Providence, Rhode Island, to me, there's no better place to stay than downtown at the Biltmore. The Biltmore Hotel. Have you guys seen the Biltmore Hotel and how absolutely brilliant it is?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, Mike. I don't know if you've been by the Biltmore recently, but they have that bright, nice old Biltmore sign on the top, but on the bottom, it's actually got a new name to it for the last 2 years. It's actually called the Graduate now, which I'm still trying to embrace myself. It's tough to not call it the Biltmore.
It's the Graduate?
The Graduate. Done by a multi-billion-dollar motel conglomerate out of Chicago that renamed it in 2019.
I think of the movie every time I read The Graduate. Pretty good movie, though.
Right.
It's been 3 years?
Yeah.
Because I stayed there 1 or 2 years ago, actually.
Wait a minute. I think I did, too. Do they have little, I want to say little stupid, little doll-type chairs? Like chairs that look impossibly uncomfortable? Is that the same lobby that I'm speaking of?
All the decor is really, really strange, honestly.
All right, so yeah. All right,
matches, everything's kind of,
okay.
I don't know.
We did stay there recently. Okay, I did stay there recently. Now, my brother had his wedding there. I had a prom there. It's a beautiful location for people to visit. I mean, I think that would be the spot that if you were going to come to Providence, it puts you right in the middle of everything. We can talk about all the food stuff around there.
The bus
Elise.
station is right there.
Exactly.
The Civic Center, the Dunk, if you will, the Convention Center, Kennedy, lovely scenic Kennedy Plaza is right out there in front. Go people watch.
I see nothing wrong with the Biltmore. Is there anything? Do you see anything wrong with the Biltmore at all? At least.
I don't like the decor, but as hotels go, it is a very nice hotel.
Okay, see, no problems, buddy.
The glass elevator doesn't work anymore, and I remember in its heyday riding the glass. Well, not in its heyday, in my heyday, maybe riding the glass elevator, going to the events on the top and the roof. That was absolutely breathtaking. Seeing the entire city of Providence. As terrified as I am of heights, I remember that. That was awesome. That was absolutely
that was only put in 1979. That wasn't there, all through its history. So I don't know why it doesn't work anymore.
Wow,
it's only as old as I am.
I remember when I would get into that elevator, I would say to whoever was standing next to me, not only do you get to visit the factory, Charlie, but you own it. And I would weird people out in the same way that if you ever catch me on an elevator and you're standing next to me, escalator, and you're standing next to me, I will start singing Free Falling. I do it. Those are two situations in my life that are already pre-programmed that I just do. I don't know why. That's just what I do.
Going to the mall with Mike.
Yeah. And there's been nothing bad that's happened at the Biltmore, right? It's a clean place. It has a clean history.
It has a low.
I can't really say that, Mike.
All right. Well, what do you mean? Like it's what? Like what?
Some alleged stuff, Mike.
Alleged.
Give me an example, because I don't know what you mean. Like
allegedly.
Okay.
When it was built in 1922, the man who funded the construction of the Biltmore, allegedly was a satanic worshiper, and allegedly designed the building with its own altar in the basement and its own crystal springs in the basement. And there was apparently some kind of like a bird. What do they call those things?
Bird coop.
A coop on the roof where they kept birds for satanic offerings.
Chickens and ducks.
What? They weren't pigeons?
And ducks on the roof.
Yeah.
Why were they chickens?
Flew away.
The guy's name was.
You sure it wasn't so that people could pet the chickens and ducks and see them?
No, he was.
Kitchen.
He was a proud satanist, Johann Elise Wieskopf. Sounds a little German, but
no, just because he's satanic doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Right? No. Our last guess is.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, he could believe like in the silliest of things, and he could be fine. So that right there, that would not sway me. I'm still saying we're staying with the Biltmore on that topic, though. My dyslexia always pops in stuff like that, and it makes me laugh sometimes because I always come up with a Santa worshiper. Imagine if there were Santa worshipers. It'd be the most ridiculous looking group of people. They're all got the white beards and they're all just following around. They believe in them. You know what I mean? Right, buddy?
Oh, these cookies in Providence many years ago. A good friend of mine hosted Night of 1,000 Santas. It was a bar crawl right around Christmas time, and we all dressed up as Santas. Jeffrey Hearn dressed up as Santa. I dyed my beard white and dressed up as Santa Claus. We went from bar to bar in Providence. The Satin Doll was one of them, where I swung around a stripper pole with a dollar bill hanging out of my mouth. Classic times, Mike.
How do we get to that story?
Show, I guess.
How did we get there? Boy, was that a left turn.
You're talking about Santa Claus and
I lost control of the wheel. Let me get back to the Biltmore. Why you should be at the Biltmore when you book your trip. Elise, other than that, right? Clear slate. There's nothing bad that's happened here.
There have been rumors, and some of them are hard to prove. Some of them.
Give me some examples.
There wasn't a lot in the old newspaper archives about the Biltmore, but ghosts.
All right.
How do you like that?
All right. So
how do you like ghosts?
Now,
is that a draw or is that a don't stay there for you?
So wait, allegedly there's been ghosts.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So if you don't like ghosts, please, the Biltmore is still the place for you. If you do like ghosts, then maybe there's a chance you might see one.
Allegedly. Well, one of the ghosts that is allegedly there is that of a man who threw himself off the roof after he lost a bunch of money. And people allegedly look out the window and see somebody come by. And as you know from the glass elevator, it is a very tall building. So, but I could not find anything about that in the paper.
Right, and just the way they spin the story. I read this story in various different articles about this guy. It's like seems almost too ironic that it happened at the stock market crash, and it was everybody saw it happen, and like now people are seeing that ghost. I don't know. I just as an investigator, I have a hard time swallowing. It sounds more like an urban myth.
Was there on record anybody falling and dying?
That I could see. I mean, I didn't go look at the city death records, but there's you think something like that would have made the newspaper. The journal's around the corner.
Let me ask you this: if it was actually during the fall of the stock market, correct?
Supposedly, yeah.
If you were freaking out because you just lost everything you owned in a room full of other people that you realized lost everything they owned, you might picture somebody falling to their death. Like it might be in the room mentally. You might all be thinking, we're all going to jump out the window if those goddamn windows would open, and we're going to just get out of here because the stock market's done. I'm done. I can't go home. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so.
Although historically, that's something that did happen quite frequently in that time in America. A lot of people lost all this money and just dove to their death. So it just seems too like it's like Lady in the White Dress to me. It's just too common, too easy to explain. I don't know. I think there's more to it, or less to it.
See, so far so good. So I don't see any. Elise, is there anything you?
Right. When you talk about people jumping out the window after losing all their money, you talk about New York, the stock market, people who are brokers, people who had paper money as opposed to were invested in real estate or whatever. Stocks and bonds kinds of things that they had nothing left. They're going to be jumping out office windows. They're not going to go to a hotel and jump out the window. Or if they were staying at the hotel, they were probably already in a good mood and they weren't thinking of jumping out a window.
Plus, can you ever get those hotel windows open?
Probably not.
Far enough that you can jump out? The ones I got, you go like this.
Yeah.
That's the most they give you. How am I jumping out?
And maybe it was different.
Again, this is allegedly 1929. Did they even have those kind of safety measures in place?
Perfect. Any ghosts? Any other ghosts at the Biltmore?
Well, these are all allegations. There's nothing really solid, but allegations between 1920 and 1933 during the years of Prohibition here in America, which was Rhode Islanders weren't too good at following Prohibition. They made a lot of bootleg alcohol, and allegedly there were 6 murders related to Providence police officers, one related to a mayor, one related to a governor, one a cardinal who allegedly drowned an 11-year-old prostitute in the bathtub. And to cap it all off for you Italians, Mr. Petriarca, Raymond Petriarca, that was his first job as a bellkeep at the Biltmore Hotel.
In 1930s, I did read that.
Wait a minute.
And his brother got married there, like your brother might. Weird.
All these murders happened around there or in there?
In the walls, they say it happened.
In the Biltmore, all these murders.
Again, it's tough to find, but I mean...
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, let's break that one down. Extrapolate that, as the genius would once say.
Right.
Let's start with this. Raymond Petriarca. People don't truly understand how local he was, and how big he actually was in the mafia. Elise, you must, like I do, have stories of Mr. Petriarca. Have you ever heard it?
Ones, but I lived right off of Mineral Spring Avenue, so a lot of his people owned a lot of properties up and down.
So now, where on Mineral Spring were you?
Like along Wooded Road, Monticello's men's clothing store.
Oh yeah.
All right, Neil Luca Music.
Yes, yeah.
That's where I live. So I can tell this story now because I think everyone's passed away. I see now. I lived in Lymansville, If you guys know the Lymansville area, for everybody listening, there's an area in North Province called Lymansville. Like, actually, technically, I live in Woodsville, but they don't call it that anymore.
Yes. I
They
know
all
that.
get names. So then there's Lymansville. Now, Lymansville is, well, or was so Italian, it was crazy. And my whole family lived there. I had family members lived at the top of a hill, and then I had a bunch of grandmas. My Aunt Florence, my Nana was there. And then around the corner was what's called the New Deal Club.
Mhm.
One of those bars that has no lights on the outside. It's just got a gray door. You knock, you go in. I think it's $3 to join. That's your year membership. And then you drink. So as a little kid, you know, when my papa would be babysitting me or whatnot, he'd go, "Come on, let's go down to the bar. I'll buy you chips. Just don't tell your Nana." And I go with him and I hang out in there, whatnot, you know. And I always tell on him. I don't know why. So now what I found out was I heard a story. So now when people pass, you get relatives that come up to you and they just spin tales about your relatives that you didn't know about, and you're just like, so here's the story I got. Now, my papa was a big guy. My whole family's tiny people. I'm the only one of any height, size. But my grandfather, my papa, he was a bricklayer. He had these shoulders and his hands. I remember his hands, how big they were and strong they were, right? And even as like an older guy, he was big. But when he was younger, he had this big jaw, whatnot. So 2 stories. One, apparently he would collect money that was owed. And the story goes that he was sitting in the passenger seat of a car, called the guy over and knocked him out without leaving the car. He was still sitting and cold cocked the guy, knocked him out.
Wow.
Second story. He's at the bar. His number comes in. He always played like 808 every single day, right? That was his number, period. And back then the numbers went by, it was 818, I think, or 828. They always went by the horses, the first 3 winners at what track was it, Elise?
Lincoln Downs?
No. It was they used all the Italians used like Suffolk. It was like one major horse track that they used, and that's where the original numbers came from. So when you bet the 3 numbers, you were betting the first 3 races, but they were numbers. It's just how you did it. So he bet the same number every day. And the guy that was collecting is the bartender, and he comes in, he tells him, you know, and he goes, "Oh, Nick, you didn't play that number yesterday." Now my grandfather, he was not never had a temper ever. But I remember my Uncle Bobby was saying, he started, because he was in the room, started saying that my papa was like, no, I always play that number. And they went back and forth. And some people in the bar were actually going, Nick always plays that number, right? So my grandfather leaves, my papa leaves, goes home, makes one call to Raymond Petriarca. He says, what's his face won't pay me. And Petriarca said back to him, "What was the number yesterday? 818. That's what you play every day, isn't it?" That part of it freaked me out the most, because he knew what everybody played as a number. You have no idea how detailed he was and what he knew, right? So he waited. My grandfather goes back to the bar, goes into the bar. The guy doesn't say anything. He sits at the end of the bar. Phone rings. Bartender picks up the phone. You hear the bartender go, Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. Okay. Hangs up the phone, goes over and pays my grandfather. Now, on a lower level of government, that works. It's illegal, but it's a lower level of government, right?
Yep.
So these Biltmore people, maybe they're not that bad. Maybe they just, come on, maybe they're just, you know, I mean, we got satanic stuff so far. You're trying to throw a guy jumping off the ceiling on me. Now there's like it's Mafia Run. There's been all these Mafia hits. I mean,
there was a club in the basement called the Bacanti Room.
Oh boy.
And they would employ these girls called the Bacanti Girls, which is where you would take all your friends for some entertainment, if you get my drift. Private booths and.
Well, let me ask you this. Were they of adult age?
I don't know.
Mike, there was an 11-year-old prostitute who was drowned in a bathtub.
Supposedly.
Who knows, dude?
That supposedly that could be a different issue. What I'm saying is these gentlemen are employing women in the mid-20s, giving them a chance to come down and dance. I see no problem with that if it's just dancing. Now, if they're younger, that's underage, that's completely off limits. But I haven't heard anything about them being underage. So still, I say maybe it was just a gentleman's club.
That's what it appears to be, but you know how these things evolve.
They probably did more than dance. Mike.
No, I don't. I really don't know how they evolve. I have no idea how they evolve. I don't know what you're speaking of.
I've got to say, and you know, when we were talking about this before, and I said I was going to do some research and look up some. I've got the Providence Journal Archives looking into it. There are not a lot of stories about the Biltmore. And at all, even the good things, because there was one thing I read that there was the Golden Ballroom. They had a very beautiful ballroom in the Biltmore. And in the 1940s, Esther Williams was doing a show there. She was the lady who would swim, and she would do like these movies where she would be swimming, which seems like an odd combination, but it was really cool. They actually turned the ballroom into a pool. They took the floor, made a pool, and she did a live show. I couldn't find anything about that in the journal. And then I had read
weird, right?
Yeah, and that was like the 1940s. It wasn't ancient history. And I read that another person who was very popular at the time, Sonia Henney, she was an ice skater. She would do a show, you know, like Ice Capades or something. And they actually froze the floor into ice. They made it an ice rink, and she did her show there. And again, I could not find anything in the journal about any one of these things. So what's that?
What's even weirder about that is the Providence Journal for about 15 years or so owned the Providence Biltmore.
Yes. Yeah.
So why wouldn't they have these incredible events that took place, at least some kind of document?
I couldn't find advertisements for them. I tried, you know, spelling things different ways. And what I'm saying is if they didn't have any, if I couldn't find anything about these positive stories, we have no chance of finding any of the shady stuff.
Well, God, no.
I know the Biltmore was featured in Van Halen's video. I believe it was Jump. It's when David Lee Roth is in just a towel and he's getting arrested in black and white.
Really?
You remember that video clip? We all remember that where he's like, and it's like, and at that time in my life, buddy, so you were too young, but in that time in my life, if there was anybody I could be, it would be David friggin' Lee Roth. Like seeing him get pulled out of a Biltmore in just a towel made me want to get into a band. That right there was enough to go, you know what? Maybe I should start a band. That's what I'm doing wrong. At least you would agree, right? During that time, a lot of the 80s bands stayed there.
How cool was that? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, they were all there because they just have to go around the corner of the Dunk.
So people, there'd be girls outside the Biltmore, like if Rat was in town, or the Scorpions, or any of those, especially the hair metal. You get like a Poison, like although, you know what? Let me tell you about Poison. They actually played at the Civic Center. And that guy, C.C. DeVille, was so... You go ahead, buddy. By all means, buddy. Just leave us with a farce. It looks like it was from Spears from 1972. So, Elise, that guitar player literally did one of the old boings and unplugged himself and did not realize he was unplugged, which bothers me. Because if you can't hear yourself, how do you not know you're unplugged? Like, what are you listening to?
Wow.
Scary stuff. I don't like Poison. So around that area though is the convention center, is the mall. I mean, what's great about the mall too is you can research the mall. People were living in the mall for like, I don't know, a couple of years.
They had that room.
Yeah, that was wild.
How do you build an extra room that gets forgotten? I can't even imagine.
I don't know. And how did they find it? You know,
how bad were the blueprints though? Like. They got to the end and they were like, "Oh shit! How do we fill in? Make it a room, cover it up. Let's just go." Right? That's all I give you. That's all I can think.
Not to mention during the construction of that mall, like pre-construction in that area, they found human remains, or like that was the area where I think they hung people back in the day.
Where the prison was. That's where the
right.
prison was, right on those grounds. So they had to stop construction and do like an archaeological dig before they could continue.
But that right there.
But there were rumors about not only they said it was the spirits of the people. Of course, they said, you know, Indian burial ground. That's always the key word for everything. Indian burial ground. And you'd go in the mall when it first opened, and the escalator, you could always feel a little vibration on it. And there was some kind of a dispute between some kind of unionized workers. I forgot exactly which group. And somebody had started a rumor that it was falling down because it was on Indian burial ground. And that's why it would shake every time you went up the escalator. It was kind of scary, actually.
A shaking escalator is blamed on an Indian
On an Indian
burial ground?
Yeah, when it wasn't. It was actually a prison, so.
That's a reach you would hurt your back on. That's like to make that connection, that reach. Oh, the escalator's shaking. Oh, must be because we're on an Indian burial ground. Like, I don't see that conversation happening at all. So
that's what I heard.
Is there anything out of the reason why the Biltmore would not be a perfect place to visit? Go ahead, buddy.
There is, Mike. There is. As of recently, actually, 2008, there were 2 disappearances. Irving F. Bishop, 42, and his daughter Emily Bishop, 4. They were tourists from New Jersey. They disappeared sometime between 11 p.m. on Saturday, November 15th, and 4 a.m. Sunday the 16th. Apparently, the girl could not get to sleep, so her father took her for a walk around the hotel. Joanne Noonan Bishop, the girl's mother, fell asleep just after they left, and by the time she was started to wake up at 3:50, they had disappeared. And no sign of them since. They caught them on camera here and there throughout the hotel, and then nothing. They never was leaving the hotel. It's kind of like sounds like that chick out in LA in that hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
So weird. Let's play this part of the game then. Were they killed and kidnapped? Did he just take the kid and leave?
Maybe.
I'm gonna say he took the kid and left. That's honestly what I would lean on. Like in those stories, it always seems like the guy's such a scumbag. He just takes a kid and leaves. Right, Elise?
Yes, and make it look like it's a nice family vacation. And how could this ever possibly happen? And he had planned it the whole time.
Guys truly are scumbags when it comes to that, buddy. Every time there's a story that involves a guy, I immediately go, the guy must have did it. The guy must have took the kid. The guy left with the kid because they're just scumbags. I'm telling you, all of the world's atrocities, men, everything that's bad, I'm telling you, men, it's just men. We're to blame for just about everything.
Probably.
Not me.
98%. 90% of everything's blamed on us. And I agree. So I think they left. Buddy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he just took the kid and bounced, but it just happened to be another story of a disappearance at the hotel. So
that's just bad parenting, buddy. Bad parenting has nothing to do with the Biltmore. Perfect place to stay on vacation.
Right. It could be that too, Mike. It could be just bad parenting.
Perfect. So anything else? We're good with the Biltmore, right? Perfect place.
No, there was something else. I don't know who has the clip. I had the clips. I sent them to Elise. If you want to do the share screen, do you know how to do that, Elise?
No, I do not. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine. You give me a minute. I have some video clips of some other reasons why you may or may not want to actually stay at the Biltmore or the Graduate, as it's called now.
By the way, the Graduate was Dustin Hoffman. And
yes.
Who was the mom?
Anne Bancroft.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
The prettiest woman of all time was Raquel Welch.
Yes, I agree.
Like literally, she was the most attractive female of all time. And I always say that to people, and a lot of people don't remember who she is. Buddy, do you know who she is?
Yeah, I know who Raquel Welch is.
Bullshit. Who is she?
She was in a few movies like she was in Grumpy Old Men or something. Or Grumpy Old Men, right? She was like the hottie.
Yeah, a lot of years later.
Yeah, but she was like a sex symbol in the 1960s and 70s.
Yeah. Was she in Grumpier Old Men, the second one?
She was in, I think maybe the second one.
I don't
remember in the first one, there, big guy.
She was in one.
I don't know. She was in one of them. Like she was in a movie. I've seen Raquel Welch before. I know.
By the way, you know what's odd that you brought that up while you're looking on the video? I've only cried twice in the movie theaters. One time was actually Grumpy Old Men, and I still can't explain to this day. It's the scene where Jack Lemmon takes the heart attack.
Oh yeah.
And what's his face? Matt Dow finds him, and he starts freaking out and starts calling by his first name, John, instead of calling him Putz. But it's the moment where he gets to the hospital and he's like, what's gonna happen? And the nurse is like, sir, friend or family? And he's like, she's like, sir, friend or family? And like, you just see him stop. And Matt Thau is such a great actor that you can just look at his eyes and know exactly the feelings he's going through at that exact moment. And then he says, friend. And it's awesome. And at that moment, I started crying like a little girl. No offense to little girls, just that little, I have a boy and a girl. No one cries like a little girl. That's why they made that, by the way, a phrase. Because my daughter used to cry, like when she got a shot, her face would turn bright red, her mouth would stay wide open. There would be no noise for like about 30 seconds. I go, oh, Jesus, here it comes. And it would come out so loud and
breathe.
Oh, but Buddy, where was I just now? What was I just talking about? Raquel Welch. Sorry, so I cried at. I'm sorry, Grumpy Old Men, and the other one was Creed, the movie Creed. Creed. You ever seen the movie Creed? Elise?
Yeah.
No.
It's about the son of Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. So the last movie I saw with my dad was the last Rocky Balboa, which is a great movie, right? Fast forward now, my dad passed, I go see Creed. Now Rocky's like I'm a huge Rocky fan. And as dumb as that sounds, I have like the stallion head tattoo, all that nines. I go to the movie. What do they do to Rocky? They give him cancer. I'm like, geez, that I have to, like, I got to come here to try to get away from life, and then you're going to make me watch Rocky have cancer?
Oh, man.
So that's the only other one I cried in. I'm sitting there like a grown man crying by myself, and I'm like, this is depressing. Buddy, how are you making out videos? Because you can't even plug in a tile.
My computer's running slow. I'm trying to bring it up right now. Just I appreciate that you're still talking, though. So you got another wonderful story.
Mike, I got a fun fact for you.
Go right ahead. Because
you said that you didn't live in Lymansville. Now you live in Woodville. Do you know why it's called Woodville?
Because of the woods?
No.
No, I have no idea.
Mr. Wood owned a factory down on the corner of Mineral Spring and Douglas Avenue, down in that area somewhere, the Woodville area.
Yep.
And his factory made, I read this, I don't know what they were using them for, coconut dippers. They would, I guess, cut coconuts and make scoops out of them or something. It was a coconut dipper factory owned by Mr. Wood, and it was called Woodville.
Wow. You know what? If you go back to that is, if you go back to North Province, though, it was built around like that factory and like what people don't talk about Rhode Island is cosmetic jewelry.
Oh yeah, everybody had
press
work to do, piecework to do.
Have you ever done the kick press, Elise?
No, nope.
Have you ever seen one though? Where you kick the press?
Yeah.
All right. My whole family that did that. So I've kicked the kick
press.
press.
Jewelry.
It's not easy to do, and you got to watch your hands, which are two things that I know I would screw up. And look on Buddy's face shows me like he could never do it. He'd kill himself. He can't even get a computer to work. You can't.
My mother did that.
Just resend me the video.
I should have just sent you the video, Mike. I found it now. I think I'm
all right. You want to give it a shot?
For a second.
You're stepping up in the world.
I'm trying to, Mike. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get this done. I'm gonna hit share.
So far, let me be honest. So far, the place to stay is the Biltmore in Providence. I have not heard otherwise. You know, I'm just saying. That's the place to be.
Great. Just give me a second. Please bear with me.
Buddy,
I hate technology.
Stop saying.
A friend and I stayed. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 years ago. I lose track with this COVID stuff. It was during COVID. I remember wearing masks when we walk around the hallways. But we did a little ghost hunting while we were there. We just went walking up and down hallways with recorders. They didn't stop us either. We knew they were watching us on the cameras. Of course they were. But
wait a minute. Stop. Elise, what was the year?
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. 1 or 2 years ago. Isn't that terrible? It must have been a year ago that we stayed there.
And they just let you walk around?
Yeah, we were just walking around. I mean, 2 little girls weren't bothering anybody. And the funny thing was, she went in there to reserve the room. She went in person. She didn't book it online. And she asked for a certain room. I guess it's the one the guy's supposed to fly through by the window or whatever. Right. It's supposed to be the haunted room.
I want to go in another room.
Asked her why she wanted that certain room. And she didn't want to tell him because we wanted to go ghost hunting. So she told them it was our anniversary. So they're like, "Oh, happy anniversary!" when we went in.
I am good to go, Mike. You wanna see this?
No, but hold on a minute, buddy. That would only happen. No offense, at least to two females.
Exactly.
Because if me and Buddy are walking around, first of all, they're throwing us out. Second of all, they're not going to give us any room that we asked for.
Yep, we had no problem. Welcomed us with open arms.
Buddy, I'd like to kick it to you now for videos, but I feel that's almost like Santa Claus at this point.
All right,
you got it?
I got it. It's loaded up. It's ready to go. I'm going to hit share screen. We're going to see what happens.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're going to blow it up.
I hope not, Mike.
Just hit share screen. I'll bring it up.
Share screen. Da-da-da. Come on.
Why are you saying share screen not allowed? It's just one button that says share.
I'm trying to hit a button, Mike. Did it work?
No. Does it look like it worked to you?
Technology.
Wait, no, it's not technology. You're just hitting a... Dude, come on now.
It's a circle now. It's circling on me, Mike. Now it's saying not responding. Oh, God.
That's because your internet is ugats on gob. It's just
dude. Oh, hold on. It's asking
Elise,
me.
while he's just babbling.
I'm talking to myself.
How many weddings have you been to the Biltmore? How many proms have you done at the Biltmore?
Oh, I'm sure I went to a couple of proms there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll remember. Yeah. I try to forget those years. I just got an invitation to my 40th anniversary. 40-year reunion.
Why do you forget the years?
I don't know. I didn't enjoy it all that much, so I forgot about it. They're like, "You want to come to the reunion?" I'm like, "I don't like you people then. Why would I want to come back and see you now?"
See, that's where lies my theory. Now I get to go back and really meet these people and see what happens. Like, I like that moment where, I get to go in the middle of this and see what happens. Like, this will be fun. Do you know what I mean? Like that to me is a reason to go. And I don't like to forget any years. Like, I don't relive them. I don't try to stay in them, but I'm not somebody who blocks them out. Even the bad ones, even the really, really, really bad ones. Because have you noticed this? Sometimes you'll realize that if this really bad thing didn't happen to me then, like 7 or 8 years later, I would have never had this really good thing happen.
Right.
And you're like, that really good thing is so much better than the bad thing.
Good thing
I had to go through that bad shit.
Yep.
Isn't that weird? All right, buddy, I'm going to share the screen, but it's going to make us feel like we're tripping. There it is, bud.
You see me?
Yeah, I see everything. I see the whole screen.
All right, do you see this now? Do you see
There
this?
we go.
Hold
All right,
on.
here we go.
Making it bigger.
Full screen.
Yep.
Here we go.
Look at you. Hey, tell you what, get rid of the limited offer.
Here we go. All right. I'm going to hit play. Here we go. What the fuck?
Buddy, if this is you nude in a room, I swear to God.
The Providence Biltmore Hotel. I'm in room 1102. I'm making this video because it's like 2 in the morning right now. Just been sitting here watching TV. And door to my bathroom in this room has slammed 2 or 3 times in the last half an hour. So that no one's going to believe me. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try to catch this happening on video. The last time it happened was like 6 or 7 minutes ago, and it's
Buddy, let it buffer. Jesus Christ.
6 or 7 minutes. So I'm hoping. Okay.
I feel like I'm just staring at this guy's face. There we go.
You can see that the bathroom is down there through the hallway. The bathroom door is the one that has been slamming itself.
Why is it
By
open?
apparently unseen forces.
Then why is it opening?
Because he's waiting for it to be slammed, Mike.
A couple minutes.
Not apparent. They're unseen.
Have patience, dude.
On video. Again, then I'm going to set my camera down and try to
Just leave it
just let it
closed.
sit there and wait and catch it when it happens.
I don't get it. He's not opening it. The ghost is not opening the door, so it's problem solved. A lot of fuss over this.
Yeah, maybe that's the ghost message. Shut the goddamn.
Ghost is just like, dude, close the door, save heat, electricity. What's the problem? That's all it is. Did it happen? I didn't see it. Nope.
I heard. Oh,
Rewind it, buddy. The playback, the buffering, the playback is so bad that we just saw the guy, then the door's closed.
Oh,
Rewind it.
right.
Rewind
Yeah.
it. Rewind, buddy. That's what I'm trying to tell you, buddy. Rewind it really quick. See if we can catch it in full time.
Mike, hold on.
All you do is pull the thing back, dude. All right. Right there. Leave it right before it closes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. I'm going to start calling you Buddy 2.0.
Here we go.
All right.
Do you see that?
Nope.
Cool.
Not really. But yeah, I did. Now, let me ask you something. This kid stayed up all night long to show that video.
Let it play, or should you want to see it again?
Well, buddy, you're frozen now, too, because your computer can't handle everything. So I suggest you stop playing that
3
video.
times in a half hour, so.
Because now you're just in a really weird smiley face.
Wait, he's going to show
Almost
the
like
bathroom.
Ziggy. You almost look like Ziggy. Elise,
Yes.
a ghost that just closes the bathroom door does not sound like a problem to me, but rather a help. Your thoughts?
I wouldn't be afraid. I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. I just have a problem thinking that, you know, that this is why they show up. This is why they stuck around. Did it happen before or after that to anybody else who stayed in that room? Did it happen all night? He had said it had happened.
Yes.
You know, like a few
Yes.
times. There's so many questions. So many questions.
Buddy, disconnect the video because it'll improve the speed for you on the camera because you're a little out of time. Now, my point was this.
Stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing. The door being closed. First of all, shouldn't a bathroom door be closed to begin with?
Right.
Do you really like the bathroom door open? I don't leave my bathroom door open. Does anybody else? Right, Elise?
Yeah, I do it when I'm not in there.
You do? Buddy, you do.
I do, yeah.
Elise, you leave it open.
I leave my downstairs one closed. The upstairs ones, they're usually open because they're upstairs.
Yeah, I got two 18-year-olds living in the house, and then they're nasty people. I close the door on those bathrooms.
So no, I'm not going to.
I don't like an open bathroom.
I'm not going to show the video because it's basically the same as the one before it. But 3 years later, and that was in 2012. In 2015, 3 floors up that was in 1102. In room 1502, there's another gentleman who does a video where he wakes up and the bathroom door keeps slamming. He's like, I want to get this on video. And sure enough, same thing happens. Bam, door slams, goes in there, walks around. There's nothing that would have slammed. There's nobody in there. Is it a ghost? I don't know, but it's really cool that it happens in 02 and in 02.
That's really
3 floors
cool,
apart. So now, my question is: does it happen in 1202? Does it happen in 1302?
And did it happen within between those three? Those were 3 years apart. Did it happen to somebody else in between there? They're just not saying anything, or do they keep any records on this kind of thing at the front desk? You know, somebody says.
And again, look at it this way. Look at it this way. You have, if you're going to a hotel room, let's all be adults here. The ghost is going to be aggravating you by closing the bathroom door, whereas the ghost has to watch the horrible things that are happening in the room. So I think it's much worse for the ghost, and that's the victim of this conversation. Because would you rather have somebody keep closing your bathroom door that should be closed to begin with, or have to watch some of the depravity that you people do in those rooms? Oh, my God.
Well, that's why hotels are supposedly so haunted, is that there is so much going on there. There's people coming and going. They're happy, they're sad, they're mad, they're doing unspeakable things. There's a lot of energy going on that comes from people. So supposedly that's what is there, that can either, the energy can be used by a spirit, can create a spirit, whichever, way you believe it to be happening.
See,
there's a lot of energy from people.
What's weird about that is because you can see the spirits like waiting to see who the best looking couple is. I mean, like, room 60. All right, but
it's be a whole other show.
And they all go hang out. All right, so the Biltmore is the place to stay. If you were to stay not in the city, say you wanted to stay at a cheaper place.
In the suburbs?
Right now we're promoting what a great motel. It's a great motel. I actually got some photos here. Let me show you what we've got for photos. They put that up. That's a barn. That's a house.
Is that a bucolic?
I don't even think they use that building, to be honest with
No,
you.
they don't. It's behind the thing. And then they showed this, what was the bus
Nice.
stop.
The bus runs by there at least.
That's a plus.
Next to it. Now, the name of the place is the Alpine Motel.
Doesn't that sound beautiful?
Let's see. It's a great place to stay for the price. It's around $60 a room, I believe.
That name reminds you of the Alps. How can you go wrong?
Yes,
Right.
and it's set in a beautiful area. There's a lot of farm. There's cows, right?
Right,
Yeah.
there's a farm right next door. Yeah.
And as far as I've heard, nothing bad has really ever happened there. It's a clean place. I don't see why you wouldn't want to go there. Elise?
Oh God.
I did a little bit of digging on this one too, and I found an ad from 1970 in the newspaper, said daily and weekly rates. So it's been around for a good long time. They've been in business since at least 1970. Couldn't find anything before that. It has a lot going for it. You saw, the bus stops right there.
Yeah.
Right there, right out in front.
Do you have any
order
other
the Biltmore
reviews?
from the Alpine?
Does anybody have any of the reviews? I want everybody to know
I
how
do
great a
have
place.
some reviews because that's what we do these days is we look everything up online, and I want to see
I'm sure it's been
what people are
stellar.
saying about it. Let me
Yeah.
read a couple for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one is from Yelp, which is one of your go-to places.
Of course, they must love it.
Looking for a hotel. The
They gotta
first
love
the first sentence just has one word. Ew. Is the first sentence. I guess my expectations shouldn't be terribly high for $50 a night. Cash only. Use syringes littered the parking lot. Very dated, unclean, smelly. Burn marks and cigarette marks on smelly bedspread. Bedside table looks to have been taken half apart. The drawer isn't there. The lamp is missing its shade. Carpet is crusty and filthy. Please wear shoes. Multiple blood stains on bathroom wall and ceiling. See posted photos. They were actually photos of the blood. Mystery brown stains on mattresses. No evidence of bed bugs, but definitely roaches. One towel in bathroom, 2 unopened bars of soap. No shampoo. The water pressure is okay. The water is hot. The bathroom is grimy. No smoke detector in the room. Old tube TV works. Gets 2 channels. Remote had no batteries. No cable. And no cats allowed. For $50, I'd rather sleep in my car. Get a tetanus shot before and after staying here.
I don't.
Wow.
Now, how can you pass that up?
Well, all right.
Yeah, really.
So, if you were to bring your own mattress cover, and plastic covers, and then I guess you'd have to wear plastic things in your feet and rubber gloves.
Hazmat suit.
Yeah, you probably want to bring a lot of alcohol, rubbing out.
Well, it's funny that you guys say that because back like 20 plus years ago, right when I turned 18, I was like the oldest of the friends group. I was the 18-year-old. Everybody else was 17. And everybody's parents were home, and we all had good parents who would not let us party and drink and do drugs at their houses, which was great. But so we had to find alternative spots. And one of the alternative spots that we turned to was this very Motor Inn, if you will, this motel, the Alpine, on Route 7 in Smithfield. They rented me the room. Here's my license. Okay, you're 18. Great. Me and about 15 of my friends went and packed in this tiny room, and we got shit-faced. They're in the Johnston Motor Lodge, which is no longer there. So the Alpine still holding out.
Well,
I probably got
honestly,
alcohol poisoning there at least 2 times, and nobody ever cared.
It's funny you mentioned the Johnston Motor Lodge because we do still have the Bel Air in Johnston on Hartford Avenue.
Yeah.
Which happens to be owned by the same people that own this fine establishment.
Oh.
They run 2 of them.
They have a lovely house, I'm sure, though.
They
where their
sure do.
motels are absolutely dumpster fires.
Oh yes, their property has pools and terraces.
So can I assume that these properties are the same as they were in the 70s?
I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't find any pictures, but I mean, they had to be the same.
They had wood paneling, if I remember right, carpets that
Okay,
were awful.
so little dirty, but retro. You're looking for a retro place to stay. You don't want to stay in a regular hotel. You want
Retro is cool. Still have is not.
But you
There
want
are
that old
also-
school. Like, look, listen, Burt Reynolds would stay at a motel. You know he would. He'd pull up at his Trans Am and go inside. My
He's
point
calming
is,
down.
yeah, it's retro, right? $50. I mean, is it that filthy? Look, I got a
There's-
review right here. I
There's
got one review right here.
there's urban legends that suggest that people might have taken their lives there. That was a popular place to go and take your life. It was-
Actually, that's more than an urban legend. I found an article from 1982 right here. Death ruled as suicide. The death of a 25-year-old North Providence woman whose body was found hanging by the neck Monday in the closet of a room at the Alpine Motel, Douglas Pike, was ruled a suicide.
hanging by the neck until dead.
Dead, dead, dead.
That's wonderful. That's terrible.
I gotta be honest. If I ever get to the point where that's it, I might go to the Alpine. I would consider the Alpine for that.
Like I would go anywhere else but the
No, because that's is because to be found there is mysterious. What the hell is Mike doing out the Alpine? Like, what was he really into? I guess we never really knew Mike. You know what I mean? Let me read some reviews.
Yeah.
Like put on women's underwear before you do it, Mike. Just make
It says by a guy named Kazoo, which already is like, come on, guy. What a Fleabag dive this hole is. Too bad you can't leave negative stars, black holes. This place is obviously meant for people down and out. The place is disgusting and moldy. All right, well, Heather Bishop writes, this place is gross. They don't clean anything here. Never mind change or wash any bedding or vacuum floors. Years ago, in a tough place, I had to stay here, spend half the day cleaning the room, finding crack pipes and other paraphernalia. Funny thing is, she spelled a bunch of words wrong, but got paraphernalia right. Monique Taylor, last one. This place isn't that good. It's like they don't care. The carpet felt so dirty it was stained with some drinks. The dresser drawers had cigarette ashes in them, and there were flies everywhere.
God.
The bed had my body itching me like crazy.
Oh, wow.
I sent you some photographs, Michael, that Elise sent me that I sent to you on Messenger. If you could share them because my share screen isn't so awesome, these photographs will light up the imagination about the wonders at the Alpine Motel.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, dude! I would rather say, Mike, I would rather sleep outside on somebody's front lawn than sleep in the Alpine.
Yeah. Now, do you both remember what happened at the Alpine in 1985?
No,
It was
what
all
did you
blood. Hold on, I just want to show the picture so I can get out
Yeah,
of this.
show those pictures first because those
I'm out.
are gold.
It was a mattress picture, which was so much better.
I just did it again. I can't run the two things at the same time. Facebook's messing with me. Every time I had to go over to Facebook, it just screws me up. Again,
See if
see
I
it?
can find them.
If I go to show a photo on Facebook now and I come off it, I go down. It goes down, and then for some reason on this computer, if I'm using StreamYard, Facebook will not load.
Let me try this. I don't even know how to do this, but I can give it a try.
It's just that lovely mattress photo.
Use you guys. Let's see. Oops, there's me again.
So listen, this place I think is being used for COVID. That's what it's been. I thought that's what it was deemed over the last couple of months. From what I had heard, it was a place because I know that they use. All right, the hotel that's in Warwick, right next to the mall.
Oh yes, Nilo.
I've been to Nilo. I love those rooms.
It was beautiful when it opened.
And now they're using it strictly for sick
Yes,
people and people that are homeless, right?
Yeah.
So the homeless get to stay at Nilo. That's
Yeah.
better than the place you
Pretty
sleep, buddy.
when they had that flood in 2010, because it got finished right before 2010, and it was beautiful. And you could sit out on the deck by the water. then it got flooded. I don't know if it got sold, but it got done over, and it was never.
Yeah,
the
but
same after.
I didn't mind when it got done over, and it was more like pipes were everywhere, and it had that industrial kind
Yeah.
of feel to it. I like that kind of room though; it's its own kind of style. But then still, they just moved everybody in, and now you can't get a room there because it's like
Oh yeah, would you
homeless
want
and COVID. So I think that's what they did with. I think that's what they did with.
Mike, I couldn't imagine being sick and being taken out of a hospital and say, "Hey, we're gonna put you up at a hotel." Oh, great. Is it gonna have? Oh yeah, they have the best care, and they put me at the Alpine. It's like, are you trying to kill me? Put
Imagine.
me in Fatima Hospital first, please.
If they,
Unbelievable.
first of all, what 2 things you just hit on? One, if they put me in that motel, I would ask for a rope about yay big
Yeah, and a good
and
nut tying book.
a rickety stool. Now,
Yeah.
you know, if they sent me to Fatima, well, then I might end up having 2 appendectomies.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That might happen. And you know what? That did happen. Because I did go to Fatima for my first appendectomy. And guess what? I came out of it and I still felt pain. I was sick and they didn't believe me. I dropped 30 pounds, ended up going to Miriam. Some old doctor came stumbling in, looked at me. He seen the color of my eyes. He's like, we got to get you in. You still got something going on. They went inside me again because surgeons do not want to go inside to see if another surgeon made a mistake. They don't want to do it. It's like the mob. They don't want to touch you. They went in and found that I still had a piece of my appendix in there and just spurting stuff all around on my organs. Dude,
man.
Literally, it's
like
luckily I'm immortal so far. Like you know, I can say that as much as I want because so far it's true. I'm completely immortal. Nothing's gonna stop me. Guys, I thought this was a great first show. What's great about first, third, fourth shows is the rhythm. You see the rhythm come in. I think we were really good to begin with. I think we really explained to people why they should come to Providence. Now, I'm going to say that we're in agreement. You can stay at the Biltmore because there's a lot of fun things that might happen there, even some scary things. But please do not stay at the Alpine Motel unless 2 reasons. You're going to go do a bunch of drugs that I don't know. Or you bought that rope and the rickety stool. That's it. Other than that, stay away. Buddy, what would you like to say to wrap it up?
Oh my God, this was a good show. It's good to touch upon these wonderful gems or not so gems in Rhode Island. Please stay at the Providence Biltmore or the Graduate now. Providence is a beautiful city. There's so much to see in Providence historically wise. And now there's a lot of like art stuff in Providence. It's absolutely beautiful. Also, what's absolutely beautiful. Tune in Sunday as Legit Paranormal. Mike and I will come back and we'll be joined by Joey Paranormal. And our guest will be Jackie Harmon, paranormal investigator. She does a few other things on TV. It should be a good show.
Okay, Elise, what are you going to say to wrap it up?
Well, I won't be staying at the Alpine anytime soon. I used to pass by that place every single day on my way to college. Oh, I didn't even get into what happened in 1985. The Supreme Court justice was caught there with a bunch of hookers.
Nice.
As they do.
You know? Yeah, it was a big thing.
I got caught there with a bunch of hookers. That to me sounds like a setup.
No, the place was being run by the mob, and he had his own room, and somebody would call up, and they'd know to have his room ready and his women ready.
Then how did he get caught if it was run by the mob? I smell setup.
The FBI wasn't as thrilled about it as the mob was, and they were waiting around the building for him.
Yeah, I guess because the prostitutes could compromise his judgeliness.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
you're a judge that has to worry about prostitutes. Or is it the people that know about the prostitutes?
That's more like it, yeah.
Like Bill Clinton in a dress.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It had some influence.
Allegedly. I'm just saying allegedly. These things are all allegedly. Anything else for either one of you to wrap it up before I do?
That's it for me.
All right. So on August 18th, it's really hard to say because there's a lot of P's. We'll be having our first legit paranormal party at the Parlor. in Pawtucket. It is going to be, we're going to have a couple speakers. Elise will be one of the speakers. My goal is to get everybody to go up there and do it without any sort of like audio, video. I want to hear people talk. I think what's going to make it great is we're going to get to learn about everybody else, and we're going to get to hear them honestly talk. You know what I mean? And that's where we're going to start to figure out things. And that's where we're going to spark conversation, because you don't spark conversation by showing me the same 4 things you showed me the last time I went to go see you at, say, a place. Like, I don't want to see that thing. I want to hear you talk about what it is you do believe in and why. Explain to me what it is. So that's, I think, what will hopefully make this fun. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
That is on August 18th. Other than that, I'm still pushing Buddy to get one of those local beer companies to make legit paranormal brew.
Yeah.
We would sell cases of it. Frigging cases of it. And I know we would. I really do. I would have it all. I'd have tons of it. Just don't make it.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Yeah, just don't put fruit in it. No fruit. There's no fruit flavor. It's just
It's got to be an IPA,
flavor.
Mike. I can't have it any other way. It can't
It's
be
just
like
a beer.
Some
It's a
like
beer flavor.
beer lager or
Beer
something.
flavor.
Beer.
Buddy, look at me. Beer flavor.
Mike,
All right?
it's going to be an IPA, Mike. That's all I'm
right.
going to say.
Okay, HR on tomorrow, 2:30. Be there. So, guys, this was a great time. I think if every week we can come up with a new city for people to stay, and maybe some hotels that that they'll call in, and you can see the number rolling across the bottom of the screen. Call that number, and you can book your stay at the Biltmore or at the Alpine through us. Phones are open, so just
We
feel
will
free
not
to
let
call.
you stay at the Alpine.
That's what I'm saying. No, 4. Elise G, Buddy Money Thayer. It's me, Mike Leopard King Mike L. This was Legit Paranormal Vacation Planning, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. We will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. We are done.